Hey y'all, it's Danielle Miller from Basketball Wives Orlando, and I just want to give a shout out to my girl China at Always Relevant TV.
It's your girl China Lovelace, and today I have a very special guest with me, Basketball Wives Orlando star and Lady Hooper, Danielle Miller. How you doing?
Hey y'all, I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm better now that we got, this connected.
Man, yeah,
We've been trying to link up for a minute, but I just want to thank you for taking some time to speak with me.
no worries, girl. You know I'm all for the interviews. I love honestly supporting, um, obviously African American brands in general. So just supporting another Black sister like myself, I'm always down for it. So, girl, whatever questions you got, I got the tea, I guess.
Period. Now, I want to run it back because we first came in contact during BET weekend during the celebrity basketball game. And for all my viewers that was not there, let me just tell y'all how Danielle had the court going crazy.
Right. I was talking shit. I just because they was so serious. Like I didn't know it was gonna be that serious. I thought it was gonna be like a celebrity game.
hmm
People get a couple of trick shots up, like typically how I've seen it in the past. But when I tell y'all the rappers, the athletes, like they
hmm
were not playing. Like it was like a real game. They were not there to lose. They were not there to do any celebrity charity work. It was a full blown NBA tryout. That's what it was
Right.
giving.
I mean, between Skilla Baby and
Yes,
G Herbo, I feel like they were going so hard.
yes, literally in NLE, like it was crazy.
hmm
509, he was good. Who else? You know who surprised me Friday? Like I was like, I wanted to ask him if he played before, but it seemed like he had played before. So I was like,
Yeah.
everybody was good to me. I was like, they put a really good group of guys together. Everybody was super cool, super nice. So it was a really fun experience.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch it. I've been to the BET experience before, but I feel like this has been one of the better celebrity basketball games. Now,
Yeah.
with you being an athlete and, right now there's a lot of eyes on the WNBA. I gotta ask you because Flage was there too. Now, what did you think about her abilities on the court?
She's absolutely amazing. Like I honestly was telling her, like, girl, don't get yourself hurt out here trying to play and keep up with these guys. Cause she could really like score every single time down the court if she really wanted to. And me and her had a lot of like side conversations, sidebars, and I was trying to give her her flowers. I thought she was absolutely amazing. She was really kind and sweet. And I really enjoyed getting to meet her.
That's what's up. Yeah, she looked like she was having a good time on the court, but it was like we talked about, it was very competitive. But I
Yeah,
want
it was
to oh, I'm sorry.
no, it was competitive. I was like, let me just sit on the bench, get my little time in. I'm gonna be right here because I don't want no part of this.
Period. Now, I do want to just like stay on the topic of the WNBA just because it's so much spotlight, from Flage to Angel Reese to Asia Wilson. Like, what are your overall thoughts on just the portrayal, the representation of Black women in sports right now?
I think it is absolutely amazing to see these ladies thriving at such a high level. Just obviously being somebody who played basketball professionally, not on the WNBA level, but I did play overseas for a season. It's incredible to see like all of the people finally like surrounding these women and giving them their flowers and giving them the grace that they have always deserved.
hmm
I find that, people are more appreciative of how competitive the game of women basketball really is. And I love the fact that Angel Reese is herself unapologetically because that's how I used to play. And I know people always kind of say, like, everywhere I go, it's so crazy. People be like, y'all kind of like favor each other a little bit. And I absolutely enjoy when people say that because in my head, I'm like, I see what y'all saying looks wise, but like personality wise, me and her have very similar like personalities, especially when it comes to basketball. Like I was always a firecracker, feisty, love the game, put it all out there for my teammates, and that's the type of player that I see within her. So absolutely love watching her play. I do wish that people would stop doing like the race baiting between her and the other young lady. I think it's just like extremely inappropriate. And I think that at the end of the day, we got to give Black women their flowers. Black women have been carrying the game of basketball on their backs for some time now. So, um, and I think that people who are just now privy to women's basketball and actually are now watching it
hmm
are very uneducated on the fact that, like, no shade to the newer ladies, but we got
Some heavy
10
hitters.
and 12 and 20 different other women who have played 20 years down the line
Mhm.
who I would say would be giving a lot of these girls a run for their money now if they play with them. Just for example, like Cheryl Miller, people don't talk about her enough, but she is an absolute legend. Lisa Leslie, like
Yeah.
these players who have always played and never really had the pay or the platform,
Mhm.
is what I just would challenge people to kind of like educate themselves. Like women's basketball has always been lit, has always been, Black women in highly representation when it comes to like amazing athletes. So I just really would wish that people would just like really take the time to like educate themselves and stop saying like, oh, this is the best we've ever seen. And it's like, no, this is when y'all just started watching.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so
because women's basketball, even though it's getting more shine, like, the Lisa Leslie's, like the Cheryl Swoops and all of those women, like we knew about them, but like I just feel like it's a different spotlight. So like when you were growing up, because you have a great basketball career yourself, like UNLV, you just talked about playing overseas, like who were some of your inspirations, like I guess female wise for basketball?
my favorite player was always Simone Augustus. I
Okay.
loved watching her play. She was absolutely amazing. She was a shooting guard slash forward, super tall. Like she had locks. I used to just love her and be obsessed with her. I don't know what it was. She was just so tough and just always putting it out there for her teammates. I absolutely loved watching her play. She was always my favorite player, because she could shoot really good. So
Okay. I'm gonna have
she
to
was
look
awesome.
her up. Look at you
Yeah, you
putting
should.
them
Cause see,
down.
that's what I'm saying. Like people, it's players like her, like absolute legends that people just don't talk about because they just started watching. And
Mhm.
I just, like I said, would really just challenge people to like, really dive into the history of women's basketball. Like it's always been lit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I'm new into basketball. I've never really been a sports girly, but I'm just like, Angel Reese been killing it, and there's so many other Black women that have been killing it. So it's like I gotta get into it more, and just like
Exactly.
I'm trying to go to a game while I'm in LA and everything. So I'm just like, it's
Yeah.
dope.
I
And-
think that social media has also um, been a blessing, obviously a blessing and a curse, but it's
Mhm.
really been a blessing to the game of basketball because women's basketball because you can actually like see what's going on.
In
People are
real
actually
time.
diving into. People are getting paid to like for their likeness now with the
Mhm.
NIL stuff. So
Which is
I just
major.
I just love it. And my son is home, so if he pops in here, mom, yeah, Carter, I'm on the phone.
All
Remember I have
right.
a meeting? Okay, so what do you need? Okay,
Come on, mama.
girl, it never stops, never.
I know. I know. Like all the mothers are always working. So like with you, working and just being a mother, like how do you find the balance to make sure like you are still always there and available for your children?
I really just lean a lot on my family and the family support I have. A lot of stuff I don't even talk about around the kids because just all of the drama that's going on. The balance between being a mom and trying to be an entrepreneur and work and all the things that I have going on is extremely difficult, but I do lean a lot on my family. My mom and my dad been together for like 30 years.
Okay.
The best grandparents in the entire world. Like my sister helps me out a lot as well with my daughter and my son. So just leaning in on my family, the support system that I have around me has always been extremely powerful, helpful, and it really does take a village. Like I know that's like this cliche saying everybody says, but like it really does. Like I would not be able to travel, go to BT weekend, do all these different things if I didn't have my family. Like I wish I could lean on the other party and the other family, but I can't. So it's just a matter of me knowing that my people and the people around me have my back 150%.
Gotcha, gotcha. And I mean, I could just tell, just seeing you at BET weekend, your friends were there cheering you on and on the court afterwards. I could tell that you have a good support system. And
Yeah.
we did see a little bit, and hear a little bit about, you and your relationship with your ex when you were on Basketball Wives and just, you know, do you have any advice for like any parents that are single that are trying to like work through their co-parenting situation and they're not getting that type of support?
I think that we put way too, it's funny because a lot of the scenes, and we talked about this a lot throughout the season on Twitter and all these different platforms of how a lot of the scenes were cut out. But I
Hmm.
actually had a really powerful, positive scene with my co-parenting coach,
Hmm.
Alicia Price. So I actually hired a co-parenting coach who's
Okay.
also my great friends, who's also extremely helpful, somebody who I look up to. Alicia Price with the Price Dynamic. She actually came into my life when obviously all this stuff was going on.
Hmm.
And she told me like we put too much emphasis on people like actually like trying so hard to co-parent with.
Mhm.
Where's my phone? To co-parent within toxic situations, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's just best not to. Sometimes it's best to be parallel. Sometimes it's best to allow the person just to have their time. They do parenting how they do it, and then you have your time and do parenting how you do it. And
Mm,
it sometimes it just works out best like that. And that was the one thing that I felt like a lot of people like get like looked down upon on. Like
yeah.
you y'all want everybody just to be, oh, you should just be a co-parent and do this and do that. Like actually I don't have to co-parent with my abuser. I don't have to co-parent with somebody who's disrespectful. I don't have to co-parent with somebody who I don't care to co-parent with. Like actually I'm just gonna do my thing over here. He can have as much time as he wants with his children, and he's gonna do his thing on his time and have the time he has with his children. And that's kind of how it's been working at this point.
Yeah, I want to just say, like, I don't have any children. I'm just single out
Girl,
here,
just
just
wait. Just
trying
wait.
to be. I know, but I'm trying to wait because it be a lot. But I think, like, I feel like when I first, like, obviously when you meet someone, like, your opinion of them changes. And like when I first watched, Basketball Wives, I'm like, I like her. Like, she seemed like she
Everybody
was
saying,
mean.
yeah.
But, as the season went on, I feel like I seen a different side of you. And then just hearing you just speaking on a co-parenting coach, like, again, I don't have children, so I didn't even know that that was a thing. But I just
Yeah.
think it speaks to like the growth and you being mature and just saying like, the parallel. So y'all, she dropping gems. So I hope y'all are picking them up.
It's so funny because I as much as the show will show like one side of a person, like
Mhm.
there's certain rooms and the range that I have, not no shade to other ladies, but the range that I have when it comes to academics and the things that I have done far exceeds some of my co-stars.
Yeah.
And I feel like people started to realize that once the season had gone on. Um,
Hmm.
and there's way more to me than just being a bitter baby mama, which
Yeah.
it is what it is. Call me what you want, but I was going through that shit in real time. A week before I went to Orlando, I had found all this stuff out. So just imagine.
Yeah. I
And
think that
it was
change anybody, they go
right.
into something.
And it was really strange to me that so many black women, especially black women who've had their partners like, and then the all like race baiting between me and her. It was just strange to me that so many black women had so much negative shit to say about me. And I was just like, when 9 times out of 10, half of y'all have been through the same shit that I'm going through, and y'all, I'm 100% sure didn't just overnight let
Yeah.
it go. Let it go. It's like, okay, y'all want me to let it go in a week? All right, no problem. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do what
I
the
think that's unrealistic too. People, they only see what they see, and it's just like we don't really know these people. But like I said, like but as the season went on, I was like, okay, you could see a different side of Danielle compared to some of her other
mm,
castmates or how you first came onto the show. So speaking of castmates, are you
mm.
still in contact with any of your castmates? I did see you and Megan like retweet each other. So can you just
Yeah.
speak on like your relationship with the castmates of the show?
The only two people I really talk to, and honestly, like on a day-to-day basis, I talk to Nikki every single day, all day long. Like that's my girl. Like we have really built our relationship from being on the show together. Like I could honestly say that's one of like my closest friends right now. Like I talk to Nikki all day long, every day. And then Megan, me and her have always been extremely close since I met her. Actually, like we just instantly clicked. So I
Hmm.
talk to Megan like every day as well.
Okay.
Um, we just check in here and there just about life, and these relationships are far more than just surface level like coworkers at this point.
Yeah.
Um, and then everybody else is just, coworkers. I don't communicate with them
Okay.
uh, at all.
Okay. Well, sometimes it'd be like that. Like, do you feel
Hmm.
like if things would have been a little bit different, like how they played off on the show, like some of the friendships that you had going prior would have like maybe like still been a friendship today, or you just think,
Absolutely. I think that for me, I'm not somebody who's extremely grudgy or holds grudges against people. Like I'm somebody who can actually like, okay, I see this is what hurt me, this is what hurt you. Let's come to the table and have a conversation about it. One thing about me is I'm very cautious of how I handle the people that I care about and
right?
how I handle like my friends. And as you guys probably saw on the show, like I'm extremely loyal.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very like if my homegirl say A, bitches B. If
Right.
my girl say go get the damn straight raisins and the Vaseline, bitch, that's what we gonna do. But
Yeah.
that's just me. Like I'm an absolute ride or die for everybody around me. Like I don't play about my friends. I don't play about the people I care about. If I gotta sit and watch my homegirl cry because of something that you did or the harm that you caused her family, like bitch, I don't like you. It's
Yeah.
just that simple. Like, and that's why I honestly didn't understand like how the world was so like y'all blame Ashley for everything. I was like, y'all don't even realize like half of the shit that this girl was doing behind closed doors, and
Yeah.
how many times I've had to have been a shoulder to cry on when it came to Morgan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do y'all not? But I was like, girl, the world gonna examine shit how they examine it. People gonna have their opinions, whatever. And I really had to understand like a lot of people that's commenting on this stuff are uneducated, they dumb, they don't even know, they just saying shit because they got weird shit going on in their lives. So I really had to like learn that. Like these are not people who their opinions don't matter.
Right. And like
Mhm.
misery enjoys company. So some of these people that are just saying stuff online, blanketed statements, like they're, sometimes they may not even watch the show or they might just take one little 15-second clip and run with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just like, what?
Now, we are in the current season of Basketball Wives LA. Can you speak to if Basketball Wives Orlando is making a comeback? Because we been waiting.
Girl, I don't know. I mean, things are going on behind the scenes. I've been really, foot down on what I want and how I feel about certain things. And I obviously can't speak to it too much, but things are happening behind the scenes. There hasn't been a green light to the show. They haven't approved the second season. I heard that there's a budget for it. I don't know if it's gonna be greenlit. I don't know what the network is holding off on. I did see that there was some selling of you know, the partners and agencies within the agencies and all that stuff kind of gets confusing. But
Mhm.
BET at some point was almost up for sale, or Paramount,
Yeah.
and Paramount is over like BET, VH1, and all these different networks. So it's a lot of like contractual stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and maybe that is adding another layer to things. I honestly don't know.
Mhm.
What I will say is that I wish that there was more transparency in
Yeah.
things that go on, but I obviously understand that this is the industry that we are in.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like you're here today, going tomorrow, and they honestly don't care about you, your well being, your kids, children, being
Right.
jobless. And I just hope that everybody has something to fall back on. That's all I can say.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I feel like with the Basketball Wives Orlando just brought in like new faces, a breath of
Yeah, it was
to the
fresh. Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Of course, we love Jackie Christie and some of the OGs on Basketball Wives LA, but it's just like, okay, how many times y'all go have a Ponderosa and be,
Right.
doing all of this stuff? So, um,
Yeah.
but we definitely want to see you back. But if you don't decide, or if things don't move the way you want to at Basketball Wives Orlando, would you be open to doing like other reality TV shows, or is this kind of like it for you?
I mean, I'm open to it. It just would have to make sense.
Mhm.
Um, I honestly felt like, and my friends hate when I say this, but I honestly felt like basketball wise, in my personal opinion, it did my life more harm than it had done good.
Mhm.
That's how I feel. And maybe that's just me healing, and maybe that's just me. I don't know, but like career wise, I was set. I didn't need to go on basketball wives. I was
Mhm.
already making six figures. Like I said, I had my master's degree. I was set in my work and what I was doing here in San Diego. Extremely impactful work within the community. Like that's the stuff that fulfills me
Okay.
spiritually. Like
Yeah.
being basketball wise did not fulfill me spiritually. It didn't make me feel happy to be on TV. It didn't make me feel like I got this grand opportunity. It really didn't offer me anything outside of the show, outside of
Okay.
what, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
maybe the other ladies, I mean, I didn't see anybody have any drastic
Yeah.
changes or opportunities come from it.
Is that kind of like with the network, or just I guess like looking at like maybe the other franchises? Is that kind of like what is kind of laid out? Like, you're gonna go on the show, you're gonna become like a big celebrity or a household name. Like, what can you kind of like talk to that, just for people that have aspirations in going to reality TV?
Right. I mean, I honestly don't feel like it's no dream sold. I feel like it's just like sign your life away on this contract. We gonna get all up in your business. And just hope that you have like OGs around you like Megan and people
Mm.
like Nikki to kind of like put you on to like this is what they do. This is how they feel. Because I honestly didn't understand like how some of the operations of it all, it really affected me to my core because like I was super emotional about a lot of stuff and I
Yeah.
didn't treat basketball wise like a job.
Okay. I could see what you
You know
mean.
what I'm saying? Like everybody else was treating it like a job. Meanwhile, this was my real life. Like
Yeah.
y'all may have little fabricated stories going on, but this is like my real life. This is my real family. Like I felt like I was exploited. That's how I felt. And
That's deep.
I'm not saying like within like the airing of the show, obviously because I went on the show and I'm giving
Mhm.
them access, but I felt like things were calculated behind the scenes
Mhm.
before I got there.
Okay.
Everybody else knew what that situation was before I did. You get what I'm
I see
saying?
what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
I was just always like, I should have treated it like a job instead of being so emotional and like really like in my feelings about it.
I got you. I
And
got
that's what I could say to them. Like, just it's a job. If you just doing it for a check, do it for a check. Use the network like they're using you. That's what I could say. Leverage all opportunities.
Leverage your opportunities, y'all. She didn't said it, so you got to
Yeah,
do it.
you got
So,
to.
I want to be respectful of your time, and I just want to ask you, what can we support you on? What are you working on that we can, put a coin to, put a view to? What are you working on?
Yeah. Actually, I have two things that I'm actually I launched a empowerment brand. So it's called Empowered by Danielle. I actually have a mom diary. It's like a self-guided journal that is available on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. So if you search Empowered by Danielle, it should pop right up. That has been doing really well. I'm
Okay,
actually in the process of connecting with a few athletes and an agency to see if I can start a athlete diary.
okay,
Um, so it's gonna be again, it's self-guided and it's all about like mental health and like checking in on yourself and journaling. And I offer like over 20 plus creative journal topics in there so you can like vent and write and there's blank pages for you to do whatever you want to do as well. But I just found that that really helps me through my healing process with like journaling and actually like doing check-ins because
yes,
I had to show up to be the best mom that I could be for my kids. And I just had to like reroute my mind and my heart to like understand like it's all about them.
for sure, for sure.
So with me creating an athlete diary, which will be hopefully available by the end of the year, again on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.
Okay,
Um, it just is going to be able to speak to like the athlete journey, like what that's like to be an athlete, what it's like to not have a good game. How do you feel today? What was your performance like? How did you eat? Like all those different things that kind of contribute into being an athlete. Um, and then I also have a floral company
okay, come
that
on
I
now.
have. It's only local, so here in San Diego, California. So if any of your fans or supporters are here in San Diego, they can purchase bouquets and or flower arrangements. We do money bouquets as well for my floral company. I have really great florists who are on our team. And I do have an Instagram page for that. It's called Rianne Roses. So it's my middle name, Riann, and then Roses.
Okay,
And we have some really creative and cool floral arrangements on that page. And
okay, for
the
sure.
last major thing that I'm working on,
Okay, okay.
and I try to keep it quiet, because I don't like people praying against my journey, like, cause then I know I got a lot of haters out here. But I'm actually studying to go to law school.
What?
Yeah,
Congrats! That's major.
yeah, thank you. So I'm actually studying right now to take the LSAT. I actually am registered to take it in November.
Okay.
I'm going to be applying to three different law schools. One back at UNL, like UNLV they just opened up a law school, I think like 2 years ago. So I'm going to apply there.
Okay.
And then there's a school here in San Diego that I'm going to apply to. And then I'm going to apply to a school in LA.
Okay.
So going to stay on the
No
West Coast.
HBCUs?
No HBCUs,
Okay.
because I want my license to be on the West Coast.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I did look into one HBCU, which was in Houston, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sending you with lots of love and support. I know you're gonna kill it.
Mm.
So when you pass the bar, let us know so we can
I
tell
know,
you.
right? Get all my little clients and stuff like that, and maybe we can make a reality show out of that. Black lawyers,
Yeah.
something positive. That's what I want to be a part of. Something that's black excellence positive. I'm tired of this ghetto shit. I can give y'all ghetto, but I don't want to be ghetto. I want to give you educated. prosperous, empowering. That's what I want to give.
Period.
So
And what type
I'm
of
just
law do you plan on practicing?
criminal law.
Criminal law. Okay, yeah,
Yep.
we need more of them because
Defense for sure. I'm not gonna be on the other side. I ain't trying to prosecute nobody. But yeah, I have a true passion for that. I actually I know I talk about this in other I have talked about this in other interviews, but I used to work for like the Board of Public Defense in Minnesota. I worked for
oh,
a few different prisons doing like case management work, a lot of like reentry for like people who have been previously incarcerated. So that's kind of my passion, criminal justice.
yeah.
That's where I feel fulfilled at. And I'm getting back to that. And if an opportunity, and I've applied for a few opportunities for some like nationally recognized reform agencies.
Mhm.
And if I get those opportunities, I'm taking them. So
Period.
I
As
will
you
be
should.
saying deuces to television, and I'm gonna go back to doing what actually like fulfills me spiritually.
I know that's right. Well, I think everybody deserves and has the opportunity to do things that fulfill them. And I just
Yeah.
really love all of the gems that you dropped today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.